Everyone, and good evening. Today we're going to be doing a really nice painting. This is one of my most popular paintings I've probably ever done. I think I've had this done, I've done it like 7 times. It's an old grist mill with some cabins in the background. You might be able to see it off to the right here. It's my reference photo from one of the ones I did before, so I can remember how to do it. So let's just jump right into it. I've already got my wet on wet, my magic white on the canvas, and we're ready to go. So what we're going to start with is we got some black, Van Dyke brown, burnt sienna. We got some Prussian blue, alizarin crimson, and this is sap green. Just a little bit of that. Yellow ochre, lemon yellow, cad yellow. This is called a viridin green, permanent red, and of course titanium white. So those are the only colors you're going to be needing. And we're going to start out with, of course, the sky. And I'm going to be using just a 1-inch brush for that. So just pull out some of that blue color. Tap it into your bristles. Oh, you don't need a whole lot, just a little bit. We don't want it to be too bright. And in fact, I'm probably going to pull out some of this white and add to it, because I don't want it quite the full strength of that blue. So in fact, we just might just mix it right in there. Now the magic white will also dilute it, so remember that when you're mixing your paint. So remember, it's actually going to end up being a little bit lighter still. So we're just tapping some of this lighter color. And we're going to come down probably about 1/3 of the way. We're just going to put that blue right in there. A little darker on the edges. Little X's. About 1/3 of the way down. We're going to cover some of that over here with the main grist mill itself anyway, so it really won't matter. Leave some of them little gaps in there. Looks like there's little clouds in there. All the way down. And I'm going to leave this little bit of space here open a little bit, because we're going to be adding some sunshine in there too. Probably should have done that first. It probably would be the better thing to do. But I didn't do that, so I will just open up a spot here with this magic white. Like this. And there we go. And first, I think what we'll do is we'll take, make sure your brush is clean when you do this. You don't want to mix it in with that blue if possible, because that's just going to be kind of a messy thing. So first we'll take a little bit of the cadmium yellow, and we're going to find out what we want to put in right here. We'll just bring it in right here. Bring it up a little ways. About right there. Maybe a little bit more. Same brush. I'm just going to tap off some of that loose paint, and I'm going to put it right in the lemon yellow. I'm going to brighten it up just a little bit, and we'll put that right in the middle. Just like that. Okay, so I'm going to be going at a fairly quick pace this time, because I don't want the videos to be too long. So you can always pause and kind of catch up to me a little bit. That's what I would recommend. Now, before we go further, we'll go ahead and bring some of this blue in a little bit. I didn't even put any paint on the brush. I'm just going to pull it in here, like so. Grab some of the blue that's already here. Get them little spots filled in where the white is. All the way across. Bring it down right into the bottom of it, like so. We don't want to get that green in there. That's what we don't want to do. We just want to blend it in all the way across, just like that. Okay, I'm going to wash the brush again. Probably should, I got several brushes I'll probably have going here before too long. And what we'll do is use that same dry brush again. Make sure she's good and dry. And go ahead and try to hit the edges of it a little bit. Get that yellow to blend in very carefully. Just don't get into that blue very much because it'll turn green. And you don't want it to turn green. Just sprays it out a little bit, very lightly. Very, very lightly. Just like that. Go across. Okay. We'll just keep that brush the way it is for now. And what we'll do is we're going to take, we want to get a little bit of a darkish color moon in there, like, or a sun, actually. And you can really just do that with your finger. I think what we'll use is this cad yellow, and we're going to put it right over here. Not right here. We just put it right there. So we'll leave that right there. Wash your finger off, of course. You can always use some rubber gloves if you need to. You don't want to get any oil paint on your fingers. Okay, now what we need to do is we'll take that same dry brush and we're going to very lightly touch it out. So just kind of blend it out a little bit. From right from the center, let it blend out just a little bit. Just like that. We don't want it to be an obvious, quite an obvious circle. Just like that. There. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and we'll take some, we'll pull some paint out here with your knife, like that. So we get some Van Dyke brown, and these burnt sienna, some black. We'll probably get a little bit of this crimson, and we'll just make us a little pile of paint right here. Some black, Van Dyke brown, burnt sienna. You put a little bit of that blue in there with it. Won't hurt it at all. Maybe even a little bit of this crimson. Mix it all up really good. Okay. Now, let's go ahead. We're going to take and use a 1-inch brush, and we're going to just tap into that paint. Tap it in nice and firmly. And what we're going to do is we're going to start making some trees in this area right here. The first thing I'm going to do is we're going to kind of go a little bit lightly. I'm not going to hit real hard. I'm just going to pop some trees in here. Little bushes, like little trees like that. Mold about right here. And then we'll just get a little more paint this time. And we're going to pop one tree up about right here. Just like that. You just want the dark, you get lots of paint. You want that darkness right there like that. Pop it in there really good. Another one here. About the same size, be fine. Then we're going to come over here, some more paint. We're kind of going to make this one a little bit bigger, so we'll start on the side, work our way up a little bit like that. Not that side. Just like that, like a little tree. And we'll come over here. Not like that. And we'll come over with some more trees right here. Right over to there. Okay, then we're going to come over here to the other side, and we'll do the same thing. We're going to start with a small one here. Get that kind of a more of a chiseled edge. Get some good amount of paint in there, so you can get that little bit of a thinner tree right here. You don't want a too big of one. And we'll put a little bigger one here. And then we're going to start putting in a lot bigger amounts right here. Some of this is going to be covered, but we want it to be coming up in here. This is background trees, is what we're doing right here. So we want to get some good dark colors in here. And we're going to come all the way over to here. We're going to actually come down a little bit lower here. About right there. Not like that. Okay. Now, You can go ahead and wash your brush. Okay, now we want to go ahead and going to be highlighting some trees here. But first we're going to go ahead and take our liner brush and we're going to go ahead and put some tree trunks on. So just get you some thinner in the same brown, and we can add a little bit of black to that. Make it a little bit darker. Plenty of thinner. Just like that. Get to a nice point, and then come in here and let's just figure out where your branches are going to be. So we can have it come down here. We'll have it come here. A branch over here. One there. One there. Here. Just put them wherever you feel there ought to be a little branch. Just put it right in there. Okay, one there. One here. Try not to make them look all the same. You want them to look different. And we'll just do one there. One there. It stops getting moving around. Just make sure you go ahead and add some more thinner. Okay. All the way down there. There's a bigger one here. The almighty tree. That's what Bob Ross called it. And William Alexander called it the same thing. In fact, he probably called it the big mighty tree before Bob did. Lots of little branches on them. And don't forget, you can always put another tree in that's from behind, just a tree with nothing on it. Come all the way down. One over here. That. There we go. One there. And we'll put another one over here too. Probably that will get covered up, but we'll put it there anyway. Just in case there's something you want to see. Okay. Now we'll take the same brush. We'll get us a little bit of this white over here. Put some thinner in your white. Do the same thing. We're going to highlight those trees, and we're also going to add some trees that are white, because this painting is full of birch trees. So just find some of the ones you want to highlight. Come on down on top. Just like that. Here, there. Let's go ahead and make sure we get some plain old birch trees in there too. Just a few here and there. Now we'll come over here, same thing over here. Let's put a big old birch right there. Just let it mix right in with that darker color, and it'll be fine. All you need is a little bit of highlight on it, that's all you need. Oops. Got a little bit of gray in that now. But that's alright. Let it work. It's going to be a beautiful little painting when you're done. You're going to be amazed how popular it'll be. People will be begging for this one. I mean, they'll just want it. Everybody just seems to want this picture. So, we got that. Let's go ahead and wash the brush. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to take... There's a couple ways we could do this. We could use this fan brush, or we could use a regular little paint brush like this little flat brush like this. And I think that's what we're going to use, is that flat brush. I'm going to just kind of rinse it off with it and just dry it back off. I want it to be a little bit wet. And then I'm going to just tap the bristles in very lightly. I don't want to get a lot of paint on it, but I want to just put some right in here. I just want it to have the indication of some little bushes in here. Little bushes and trees and whatnot. Just like that. Nothing much, just a little bit here and there. And then we'll just take the same thing, and we can put a little bit of the leaves up here on this one. Just a little, not a lot. Just give it some color. Without even washing your brush, I'm going to go right into the crimson. Tap it in, let it mix in with the other color. I'm going to come over here, and we're just going to add a little bit of that crimson color with it. Some more bushes. Just give it a little bit of a sparkle. That's all. And we'll come over here, the same thing. Put just a little bit in these trees. Get a little more crimson. Just a little bit brighter. Just a very, just touch it, just real lightly. Just a little bit here and there. Just like that. And that's all there is to it. If you want to, you could put some over here too. In fact, let's just go ahead and do that. I think I see some in the picture. We'll tap in a little bit right here. We'll just add a little crimson here and there. At the top of these trees. Very lightly. Give it some more color. It doesn't have to be everywhere, just here and there. Some of these will get covered up anyway, so just want to give it a little bit more color, break it up a little bit. Just like that. Okay. Maybe a tiny bit right here. Yep. Okay. Now, what I want to do now is, I'm going to go ahead and just take the fan brush, and I'm going to take the same light blue we got here. Just load a little bit of paint on my fan brush. And what I want to do here is, I'm going to kind of establish the horizon line. And it's going to only come to about right here. So the rest of that's going to get probably chopped right off. So we're just going to pull it along right at the bottom of where these leaves are, right here, or these bushes are right here. Not going to leave many bushes, but that's alright. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. It's not a perfectly straight horizon. I'm just going to pull